Hello, and welcome to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast with your host, me, Hal Coleman, uncensored and unplugged. Pay attention, take lots of notes, because you're going to find out exactly how to get more new customers, more referrals, and grow your business.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Well, hello, folks. This is Hal Coleman with yet another episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast, and I'm here with my mentor, my good friend, my life's brother, Mike Stewart. How you doing, Mike?
There's a great day in the neighborhood, as old Mr. Rogers used to say.
Yeah, I forgot to tell him that I'm Mr. Offline and you're Mr. Online.
Well, little monikers.
Although I do know about online too, and you do know about offline too, but that's where our fields of expertise are. So I'll tell you what I want to talk about today, Mike. It's in the pest control business, any business, what we talk about applies to any business, but we just call it pest control because I've been in the pest control industry for 45 years. My story is in pest control. I ran a successful business of my own for 18 years, but every time I say pest control, you can just substitute roofing, plumbing, dog grooming, legal, so you can just substitute anything you want to put there because it just applies to any business. But I was one of the things that I ask a lot of times when I do a workshop is I ask the group, I say, what do you think the lifetime value of one of your customers is? And I'm surprised when they have this look on their face like puzzlement, like I just said, okay, now we're going to do a prostate exam. That's kind of the look they have, like, well, they don't know the lifetime value of their customers. And some do, but, very few really do. Now, it's easy to find out because the research in our industry through National Pest Management Association, they published some figures a few years ago, and the average lifetime value of a customer at that time was about 10 years and about $4,000, but it's up to about $5,000 now. That was a good many years ago. So if you get a pest control customer and you sign them up, and you got your termite coverage with them, and you do a quarterly pest control service for them, over the period of 10 years, that's going to come out to about, a neighborhood of $5,000. Now, that doesn't count your initial treatment, your termite treatment, and if you do any other stuff like wildlife control or mosquitoes or anything, it just runs on up there. Now, some people will stay with you for as long as they live, 25, 30 years, more. Other people cancel you after 6 months or a year. So we're not, there are exceptions to everything, but I'm just saying on the average, your good customers stay with you for 10 years, and they're going to pay you about $5,000. So I've seen businesses of all kinds, not just pest control, trash a customer, let a customer go right down the garbage disposal without making much effort at all to salvage that customer. I remember one time, when I used to work for the state, I was a regulatory agent in the pest control industry, and going out on complaint calls where somebody would call the state and complain, and maybe it's because they wanted their pest control company to come back and do a free service for them because they weren't happy. And the pest control company wouldn't do it because they said they'd already come out and done a free service call, or they'd already come out and done 2 of them, or they had $100 worth of termite damage to a garage door frame, and there was, they looked back through the records and some technicality there. The pest control company didn't feel like it was their responsibility, and the homeowner did. So they would let a customer leave and lose them over $100 or less. Now, there you're throwing $5,000 down the toilet quibbling over this little amount of money. Not to mention that, but even worse is the fact that when people are ticked off about you, they're fuming, and they're going to tell people about it. They want to get it off their chest, and they want to do harm back to you just like they feel you've done to them. So that person goes out, and for the rest of their lives, they tell them what a sorry company you are. And people have tried to calculate in a monetary sense the negative impact that can have on your business, but it's really not calculable, but it's just profound. I mean, because we've got a restaurant right up the street from us. I'm not going to say the name of it, but you've been to it with me before. And it used to be your favorite place when you came to Roswell and came to my house. We always got to go up there and eat. But it changed ownership, and the manager, you remember when we'd go up there and the manager always come over to the table and I'd introduce you to him?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It was just our favorite little place. Lynn and I were like family up there. So it changed ownership, and I noticed that after a period of time went by, I said, the lady that actually managed it, that was good friends of ours, retired, and I got a new manager. So we'd been going up there. We'd go up there maybe once a month or so, and said we didn't know who the manager was. And I told Lynn, I said, I don't know anybody in here anymore, and I don't feel warm and fuzzy. I don't feel like I don't feel a part of it like I used to. So we're sitting there with this couple, friends of ours that used to meet up there and eat a lot. And I was telling him this story. He said, oh, that guy over there, he's the owner. And I look, and there's a guy over there talking to a waiter. And so my friend kind of, he looked over our way, motioned him over the table. And he came over and he said, this is my friend Hal Coleman. He wanted to meet you. She didn't know who you are. And the guy said, yeah, I'm Bob, whatever. And I said, yeah. I said, we come in here all the time, and we used to know him. The manager used to come around and introduce herself. I said, I don't know anybody in here anymore. And I said, I didn't even know you were the owner of the business, and you're here every night. He said, yeah, I'm here every night. And I said, why have you never been over to our table? Why have we come in here for a year and never met you? And I don't even know who you are. And you've never been over to our table to introduce yourself or ask us if we're having a good meal. I said, what's going on with that? And he just looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? And he said, well, I don't know. And I said, well, okay. So, and then he left, and he didn't say, well, I appreciate you coming. He didn't even get what I was saying at all, Mike. He just walked away, and I looked at my friends and that were there with us, and I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, he doesn't have to worry about meeting me anymore, because I said, now we'd been going to this restaurant for 20 years. I said, this is the last time I'm ever setting foot in this restaurant. I said, I'm finding me a new one. I'm kissing this one goodbye. It's a thing of the past, because I refuse to do business with somebody that doesn't care whether I come in here or not. So he threw me down the trash there without even realizing that, my wife and I would go in there once a month and spend $75 each time we came in there. So go figure that up. It's not chump change. And we'd usually, like I'd go with you, we'd take somebody with us. So flushing the lifetime value of a customer down the drain without even giving it a second thought.
And now here's a word from our sponsor.
Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Did you hear that? That is a jingle. But more than that, it is an audio logo and what I call a marketing earworm. But you know, that's a bug, that's a worm you want in your local market on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and podcasts like you're listening to right now. Yes, you should do a podcast as a PCO, but we'll talk about that another time. You want your market singing Google your name, what you do, and your phone number. Simple, but it works. If you want to cash in on this marketing bonanza, go to pestcontrolmarketingjingles.com to learn more. Or just call me, Mike Stewart, at 770-826-3662, or call Hal Coleman at 770-993-0004. And we would love to show you how to do what we call search and call advertising with earworms. And oh yeah, it works on that old-timey technology of radio and television. Why don't you call us today and learn more?
Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
The lifetime value of a customer down the drain without even giving it a second thought. And the worst part of that is, going back to pest control, Mike, is if you know that your customer's worth $5,000 to you and you get a new customer, you can look at it as, I just got a $5,000 customer. If you sign somebody up for quarterly pest control, you basically just got a $5,000 customer. And if you're doing it right and you understand how to generate referrals, then you know that over the next several years, you're going to get at least 2 more new customers from that customer. You're going to get them to hand over 2 more customers to you. So now, when you sign that person up for quarterly pest control, you're basically, if you're doing it right, if you're doing what I tell you to do, you just signed up a $15,000 worth of business. So it's very important that people know the lifetime value of their customers, and customers are worth fighting tooth and nail for. They're worth bending over backwards for and groveling for. I mean, you know, you got to do that with some customers sometimes because they require it. But I'm just saying, don't tick off customers and put them down the garbage disposal because of some little tiny insignificant incident that happens, or because you're going to fight them over $100 or something. They're worth a whole lot more than you think they are. And that's the same with your online customers too, isn't it, Mike?
Well, the things that I'm hearing here that I think that I can interject is, you used to always say, and I totally agree, and a lot of my online mentors agree wholeheartedly, you've got to do shock and awe customer service. Shock and awe customer service. And sometimes you've got to do things that cost you money, but in reality, it'll cost you more money. There is no room for getting even. There's no room for not caring. In other words, let me explain myself by getting even. There are going to be people. We figure about 2% of the world is got problems. They're a pain, they're evil, they're mean, they're manipulative, they're all this negative stuff that we don't want any part of. But 98% of the world is great. 98% of the world doesn't make the news. It's the 2% that makes the news. They do bad things, they make people mad, and so on and so on. So when somebody wrongs you, or takes advantage of you, or tricks you, or wants to do whatever, there comes a threshold of where it's out of alignment. It's unfair. It's, and you've got to do something. So, number one, you should do everything you can to do shock and awe customer service. Everybody's not going to have you come out 5 times. But that customer is worth. Now, if you do 5 times and they're still not happy, this is what I do with people, and this is what Alex Mandozian told me years ago. I've done my best. I've been out here 4 or 5 times, and it just looks like maybe we're not a good fit. So I'm going to refund you all your money and let's part friends. In other words, not leaving them with feeling like that they have lost anything is a better investment than keeping what little bit of money you have. Because you're going to have so few people want risk reversal. That's what Dan Kennedy teaches, risk reversal. Guaranteeing that if you're not 100% satisfied, we'll give you back every bit of your money. And there's people who refuse to do that. But you can't calculate all the negative that comes from you standing your ground over whatever the amount of money is. And hopefully it's not a lot of money. Because the people that get disgruntled, that you dig in your heels and you say, I am not willing to get, that guy doesn't deserve his money back because he was a pain and he was unfair and he was wrong. That's the very guy that goes to Google reviews and Yelp reviews and Facebook reviews and social media, and they spread more venom against you because you tried to keep your $100 that loses you thousands of dollars that you can't calculate. So Alex Mendozian told me years ago, when somebody is unhappy, give them their money back and say, we're just not a good fit. Sorry it didn't work out. I wish you well. And in fact, he actually said, here's the numbers of some people that might be able to help you. And as painful as that is, it will make you money in the long run. Because remember, 2% of the people are bad. 98% of the world is wonderful. And what you want to do is you want to get long-term customers, and most of them be in the 98% column. And when you get somebody in that 2% column, don't dig your heels in. Be sure to make sure that you do everything you can. When talking about online world, we got some PCOs that I work with, and they have a 3-star review in Google reviews. And I tell them over and over and over again, you can't calculate how much money that is losing you. And I get the pushback, well, I can't get people to leave me positive reviews. And I go, you know what? You got to make this a priority. And if you don't make a priority, you can't calculate how much money you're losing. And point being is, if a customer is worth $5,000 and those bad reviews are losing you 3 customers a month, you do the math. Do the math of how much money you're losing to your competitors. You're losing. Do what others won't do, and you'll win. So that's all I got to say, Hal.
There you go. Well, Mike, I think we've said it all. And, your customers are worth more than you think. So protect them and do everything you can to save them. And with that, as always, we'd like to offer you, both Mike and I, some free coaching time. If you'd like to spend an hour with me talking about your business, give me a call at 770-993-0004, or you can call Mike at 770-826-3662. We will discuss your business, and we will look for the low-hanging fruit. We'll give you some great ideas, some great takeaways that set you on your course to success, and it won't cost you a penny. And all you have to do is call us and set it up. And then if you decide that you would like to work with us hand in hand and let us guide you through the process, we'll tell you about our coaching program. If you don't want to hear about it, we won't tell you about it. But anyway, we want to help you, so feel free to give us a call, and we hope to hear from you. And with that, Mike, I think we've wrapped up another episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast in iTunes and on your phones and in Stitcher on your Android. But more importantly, go to our website, pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com. Subscribe to our email list to always be notified of new episodes. You're never going to want to miss what we got coming up next, and you never know what we're going to be able to do to help you with your pest control marketing.